What is up, everybody? It is OTG Clips. I am bringing you guys a brand new video. Hope you all are having a wonderful day so far. And as soon as I start off this video, I know I warned you guys in the previous video that there was going to be some inactivity. And clearly that did happen. It's now been over a week since our last upload, and I'm deeply sorry about that. But the bad part about this is I can't promise that it's going to end. With school taking up a lot of my time, I really don't find time to upload that much. It got to the point where I was so mad that I wasn't able to upload that I considered just making a video talking about taking a break, like taking a few months or something off. And thankfully I'm not going to be taking a break, though it only stayed in my mind for just a little bit of time. I really considered stopping YouTube for a little bit, but I think I'm going to stay. As hard as it is to find YouTube time and just to get dedication and all that, I can't imagine not doing it. And beyond that, I mean, we totally get spam dislikes and we lose a lot of subs, and that's just, I don't want that to happen either. But anyway, this is not what you guys came to hear. You guys clicked on the title because it says I got a kid suspended. And this is a story I actually haven't even told very many of my friends. So not a lot of people do know about this story, and I think it's actually going to be kind of funny to tell. So we got to start off with a little bit of background information. Ever since I was 3 years old and all the way up through 6th grade, I went to a private school for elementary school. It was a religious-based school, just how a lot of private schools are. But beyond that, they always at private schools really encourage the fact that you become a good person, treat each other nicely, and just have really good manners. And then after having 2 years of preschool, kindergarten, and then grades 1 through 6, it actually had a pretty big impact on me. I mean, if you did the same rules and stuff for 9 years in a row, I mean, it's pretty expected. But anyway, after getting through 6th grade, I moved over to 7th grade and I went to this middle school. And this middle school happened to be a public school. But anyway, so what happened was, me being the good student that I am, I'm pretty sure that I was getting a little bit more adjusted to public schools as time went on. But I mean, I was still the stereotypical good kid. I didn't curse, I didn't do drugs, I didn't do any of that crap. And I didn't want others around me doing bad things either. So a lot of the times, it would come to my attention and I would do something about it. And I know it kind of sounds like tattletaling, but it's not. I wouldn't tattletale on something stupid. I'd only tell a teacher if something major happened, because that was what I was normally doing. Back at my old elementary school, if somebody did something bad or inappropriate, that'd be the first thing we'd do is we'd tell the teacher, just because that's how it was back then. But now let's actually catch up to where the story is supposed to be. I'm going to tell you guys how I got this one kid suspended. I'm doing my best to try to remember the fine details of this story. I mean, it was a very long time ago. I am pretty sure this was the first, maybe second month of school, second month of 7th grade, first year in public schools. So like I was saying, I still had this good student stuff in my head, and it was still just part of my life. And the day had just ended, and I got back on the bus with one of my friends. So we were just talking about what happened today and all that, just, normal stuff. And we look out the window, and in the bus next to us, we see this kid that's sitting in towards the back of the bus. He was sitting by himself, just sitting there minding his own business. And then he reaches into his backpack and pulls out a cigarette lighter. Now, on my school grounds, there is a very strict rule about no cigarettes, no lighters and stuff like that on the school grounds, no drugs and all that, just how a lot of schools are. And so this kid has his backpack shielding him to where nobody can see him. He's just sitting there with his cigarette lighter, and then it starts getting a little bit crazy. He does not have a cigarette with him. So he's sitting here playing with his lighter. And what does he decide to do? He decides he's gonna try to start a fire. So what he starts doing, I'm already freaking out. Me and my friend are oh my gosh, what is this kid trying to do? He's sitting there with his lighter, taking it, going up and down the leather seats. So he's making these marks, he's attempting to at least. He's trying to make these marks on the seats of the bus before we start going home and all that. So he's just taking his lighter up and down on the seats, just trying to burn it for some unknown reason. And it is at this point in the story that we realize not only is this kid a psychopath, but he's also an idiot. If you guys don't know this, leather actually can't burn. It can't have a flame. It's kind of like flesh in a way. If you were to try to burn flesh, it doesn't really have a big fire. It just kind of sets off a burning odor. So leather cannot burn. We know that now. And this kid is still sitting here trying to burn it. And not only was this kid, he's not a 7th grader. This kid was a high schooler. He looked like he was a sophomore, maybe a junior, just sitting in the back of the bus. But anyway, he's sitting there trying to burn the seats, and obviously you can't burn leather. So what we did was we saw him over there trying to set the bus or the seat on fire, and we went and ran to our bus driver before we started driving off and said, hey, there's a kid on the other bus over there, he's got a freaking lighter. And of course, there being that really strict rule at my school, they did not take it lightly. Within a few seconds, there were people just storming that bus, and they ran over to his seats, and they trapped him in his seat basically. And what they did from there was they were asking him questions, and then he was shaking his head no like all the time, and then well, obviously it's just a big lie. Then they took his backpack, and they looked through it and all that. They found the lighter, and yeah, he and his backpack got off the bus. And from there, yeah, he was gone. So there you guys got it. That was basically it. It was one of the very first big memories I've had at like a middle school or a public school or school in general, actually. But it was honestly a pretty crazy day that day. It was a good story to tell, and I hope you guys really enjoyed listening to it. I'm sorry if it took up too much of your time. But anyway, I hope you guys did enjoy today's video. I'm sorry again for the inactivity. You all are literally the best, those of you who are still here watching these videos, even though I'm like inactive half the time. So thank you guys so much for that. We got some montages in progress right now. Ninja Defuse montage 31. Crazy to think we've made so many of those, but we got another one coming up really soon. Some of the best ninjas ever are actually going to be in that montage. It's actually ridiculous. But thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you do drop a like on this video. Make sure you subscribe if you are new to the channel. And I'll talk to you all in the next video. Peace out.